The City of Angels is black and gold. You are listening to the Heart of LAFC Podcast. And now, Joseph Zacher.
Greetings, Los Angeles. Welcome to episode 174. We're going to call this one Revving Up. You're like, oh gosh, the puns. It's on, people. Yeah, no doubt we are revving up because we're going to talk about some preseason news, potential signings, a real signing, all kinds of fun stuff today. Before we get into the business, let's introduce our amazing team. Welcome back, Christine Kwan, LAFC Punk, and of course, Caesar. Christine, how are you doing?
You know, I was able to play my very first game of foot golf this past weekend with two of the founding members of the LAFC Foot Golf Club, Chico and Chila. And, you know, I'm just going to say, hypothetically, if it was your first time playing foot golf and you go with somebody that you trust to keep the scorecard, and that somebody is telling you the last 3 or 4 holes that you're ahead by 2 or 3 strokes, and then at the end tells you, guess what? Actually won by 1 stroke. I mean, he won by 1 stroke. I mean, do you think that is an honest mistake, or was I possibly
So
cheated?
did the pressure get to you?
No, I thought that I won because I was like, oh, I'm ahead by 2 strokes.
Yeah,
And
okay. I
then-
get it. I get it.
So, I mean, that's just a hypothetical situation. I'm not saying that I was cheated, but yeah, I mean, we're going to have a rematch.
Say hi.
Sheila.
Hey,
So
Ashley.
I learned my lessons at right when we started going, and I started keeping score because the accountant had to do it for the squad. So
Exactly.
I'm just saying he didn't always end up first place when I went.
Oh, so he's got to use those strategies. Okay.
Yeah,
yeah,
he knows how to get in your head for sure. If he knows he's losing, he'll start tallying up, and he'll be like, okay, if they're beating me, let me let them know so I could get them to crack down under pressure. And sure enough, people do crack down under pressure when they know they're winning, and it's only a couple holes left, and
Yeah.
next
And
thing
I
you know,
can't add. I can't do math either. So I was at a severe disadvantage. It was super fun.
Are you suggesting that Chila pulled a rope-a-dope?
I mean, I don't know. He didn't seem very sorry when I came out of the bathroom, and he was like, "Oh, sorry, I actually did the math wrong, and he actually lost by one point." And I was like, "What?"
So it sounds like we need a rematch with a few witnesses involved. Is that what we're talking
I
about?
know. Chico was there, but I feel like he's possibly being silenced. Maybe, I don't know.
we got Antonio here saying you really can't trust him with that scorecard, and
Oh, okay.
yeah,
I think you need an official scorekeeper. So.
Yeah. We might need to call in another podcast to play a referee and all this stuff. So, hey Sam, if you're listening, you better. We need your help, sir. FCS needs to step in for a little bit of peacekeeping, for sure. Maybe I'll get out there too, just to rattle him. But that should be fun. Good times, man. Good times. Can't wait to do it when it's all getting back to normal again, to jump in with you guys. Should be a good time.
I did see his score for that match, and I will say that I am disappointed in him because 71. Come on, Chila. He should be getting in
He was in the bushes for like a good 20 minutes. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, that guy should be getting like 61, 62. That's like his average score.
Ball in the bushes, score in the weeds. Nice. Good job, Chila. We'll get you, man. Don't worry. Punk, how are you doing, man?
It's been a crazy week. I'll just put it that way. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll see my issues I've had. I'm going to be getting a car shopping, but hey, it's life. So, yeah, it's been a crazy week. So, but before we get started, my album of the week, if you guys might be able to recognize that album cover, I chose Green Day, Dookie. I know some like hardcore punkers are going to be like, hey, that's not a real punk rock album. They're sellouts. But hey, how many punk rockers got introduced to punk because of this album? Me right here. This album opened a rabbit hole and it's a monumental album. So Green Day Dookie, great album. So that's one I picked this week. I was like, oh, some people are going to be like, oh, that's not real punk rock. But hey, for those of us who were introduced to it and then we just like started just diving into punk rock, Green Day was kind of like the introduction.
The sellout thing always cracks me up. I mean, I grew up with you at the same time. Yeah. Green Day was cool and all. You know, that album's like, honestly, you just let it go.
Yeah, I saw them at Lollapalooza in '93 or '94 around there. So thank you, Robert. My car. Yeah, the LAFC punk car with all of my punk rock stickers, my LAFC stickers is no more.
Oh, no.
So
time for new stickers.
New stickers. Yeah. I do have some LAFC stuff. Definitely, I have my. I can't forget to take off my license plate frame. I got a Empire Boys license plate frame, so can't forget that.
No, heck no. And whatever you do get, you gotta like make it full like LAFC mobile, dude.
Oh, yeah, that's what it looked like now. But hey, it's life. So tomorrow I'll be going out looking for a new car.
Good luck. Happy hunting. It all works out there. Caesar, everything's good with you, sir?
Yes, sir. A little getting used to the 7 p.m. sunsets over here. So, I'm just going to try to enjoy the last few 6 p.m. ones because now that means I could start going on runs later in the day. So
Nice.
Have you been there in the summertime?
Yeah, definitely. I lived here before, so
I mean, the sun stays up late up that way.
Yeah, the latest I remember was like 10 p.m. It'll get dark till 10 p.m. out here, so we're almost there. I think by like May, June is when we'll start seeing the 9:30, 9:45 p.m. sunsets. So should be nice.
Nice extended day. I'll take it.
Good stuff. For sure. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Now, you guys have all been paying attention to all the crazy news since our last episode, and it has been intense, really intense. So there's a lot to cover today, and we're going to try to make this thing nice, clean, quick for everybody so we can get a little Q&A at the end and try to get in about an hour 15. That is definitely the goal. We'll see it. The challenge is accepted. First thing I want to start off, Caesar, what's going on? What officially kicked off this week?
Training camp. The guys showed up to training camp, and we got to see a lot of pictures early in the week. So our captain, as some say, the King of LA, is back. I think a lot of people were worried that we weren't seeing him in the, optional workouts, as you would say. But he looks in shape. He looks fit. He looks happy. He looks serious. I think not only him, but other players as well. We've heard I think we've been seeing some interviews from some of the players. Wish we could get more. But I mean, I'll take what we have. So
how's his hair right now?
He looks clean and cut. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, nice.
High and tight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not like super clean and cut, right? But at least you can tell he's gotten a haircut within the past month or so. So he's definitely taking care of himself. And yeah, I think it's a good sight to see for all the LAFC fans.
Yeah, I mean, most of these guys are looking already primed and ready. We're not seeing the gameplay, but they're coming in like game day, like ready for team photo ready. Like it looks good. Everybody's ready this time. It's perfect. Can't wait to get there ourselves. We'll talk about that later in the show as well. But guess what, guys? Since it is camp and it's a quick camp, guess what? Preseason matches are happening. Christine, can you give us an update on preseason matches?
Yeah, so we have 3. We got one on the 19th of March, which is like an intra-squad match, which is not open to media or the public. And then we have 2 friendlies against the Revolution on April 3rd and the 10th. And those might be open to media. It's still TBD, but definitely not open to the public. I also heard that the Las Vegas Lights fellas might be coming in pretty soon, maybe in the next week or so. So that'll be interesting. And you mentioned, Caesar, the interviews. That reminds me of the Tristan Blackman interview where he's talking about, he's referring to Kim Moon-Wan, and he was saying, he's excited for the competition. And it was just nice to hear Tristan talk about like his mentality and how he knows that he wasn't performing to his best in the past, in the past season, and he really wants to get to the next level. So I love that for him, especially as a defender. You have so much on your shoulders, so you have to be so mentally strong. It was great to hear him be in that mindset.
Consummate professional, without a doubt. The few times I've been able to speak with him, his head is on straight. There is no doubt. Yeah, I mean, I think that's why Bob has taken him, under his wings the way he has. Is he's seen it. He's very coachable, very intelligent, and he is a pro. There's no question. He's earned his spot. Now it's going to be a battle to see where he fits in with this current lineup, because we are a deep squad. Good things, that's for sure. Now, in terms of the final two games, you said they're against the Revolution, correct?
Yes.
Ooh, it is a good thing, I will say, because that team does like to play with, 5 midfielders, 2 dropped back, very much. Typical MLS lineup, right? And typical to drop back and low block. So it's kind of a good tune-up to get used to it, because we all know how good this squad is this year. They're going to have to work their way through lineups like this. So it's good. It's a good schedule so far. And of course, revving up. I had to say it. Sorry, guys. Don't kill me for it. But I mean, if that's your whole preseason, you might as well, right? And then you mentioned Vegas. I wonder if, could that really be our rumored inter squad match? You never know, right?
Well, that would make a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say even some of our players on our current squad, they're going to be seeing a lot of minutes with Vegas. So I think, regardless who's on that side, I think on the other side, it'll be basically guys who would see a lot of minutes on Las Vegas side, and then we'll get some with us. But
absolutely,
definitely on the other 11, I would put our top 3 subs, the 3 subs that Bob is going to roll with, let's say 85% of the time of the season, where he's like, okay, we know in the mid is where he's going to kind of switch it up, just because I think we have our 3 mids that are going to start, and then he's going to be like, okay, if this one's not working out, boom, this is my first sub, or this is my second sub. So I think on the inter squad, that's what would be interesting to see. What players other than the top 3 will go to will be on the Las Vegas side. So
yeah, it's hard to tell. I mean, it could be one of those 3-period type of matches where you're breaking things apart just to see what things work out as. You never know in the inter squad, but you do know that our squad is a lot. It looks bigger than last year, right? There's just bodies coming in and nobody going out. So building up for something, I think, would make sense, right? Of course, Vegas hasn't been announced. We don't know. All the rumors are swirling. It seems like everything's falling into place to say, well, yeah, but nothing official as of yet. So we can't really say, oh, yeah, Vegas. Nah, it's not been confirmed. But, man, it seems like it makes a whole lot of sense if it happens.
Yeah.
It's in the wind, folks. So let's hope that all plays itself out. Now, running forward here, Punk. Want to talk about opening day? Because, yeah, we have a date.
Oh, yeah. I think we're all excited. Saturday, April 17th, 2:30 at the Bank. We will be hosting Austin FC. I think it's kind of funny how we hosted Miami last year. We did their first game, and now we're going to be part of Austin's first game. I'm excited for Austin. I think eventually when we go to road games, I think that's going to be an awesome city to go visit. But it's going to be cool. There's a great article on MLS Soccer. Josh Wolf really kind of gives a lot of respect to LAFC, saying that we're a great model for MLS. So it's a really good article. Check it out. I remember watching Josh Wolf play back in the day. He's a head coach of Austin FC. They're definitely modeling after us. If you guys remember a couple of years back, Matthew McConaughey, say his name.
McConaughey.
There we go. Yeah. All right. But I remember I was at the game. He was like with Will Ferrell, and he was checking out the 3252 wearing his Austin FC shirt. So nice. Austin FC really respects us. It's kind of cool that I think they're kind of excited that they get to play at our stadium. Although it's going to suck just because 3252 won't be there. I mean, some will be there. Joseph's going to go over the numbers of how many people are going to be there. We're definitely not going to be in the 32-52. If we are, we're going to be very spread out, and it'll just be like a few of us out there. If we get it, whoever gets in there. So Joseph's going to be going over the attendance and how many people are going to be allowed in there. It's going to be like
like 32 if and few.
Is it going to be like the Willy Wonka, like chocolate bar, golden ticket?
Oh my gosh, the competition for that. I don't even want to. Guys, we'll get there one day. Let's all be like nothing cutthroat, people. I mean, we'll get there.
Chocolate bars.
Yeah, dude, gold. Yeah, right. You get the golden snapback, right? Tickets hiding inside. It's always got to be a hat, right? It's a rule. So I know I'm just in pun mode today because I mean you're talking about Matthew McConaughey and I'm just sitting there like, oh, Austin's got to play us. We're the MLS welcoming committee. I see how it is. And I'm like, yeah, they're going to be dazed and confused after 90 minutes. It's great. I told you, I'm in a mood tonight. It's going to be really bad puns, but hey, deal with me, people. That's how it goes.
And
yeah,
Josh?
Hey, Joseph, you're a dad. I always tell people for myself being a dad. I think something when you become a dad, all of a sudden you get these dad jokes. Just this quick one, really quick. I remember we drove by a cemetery one time, and I told my daughters, I go, hey, I think I heard the business there is pretty dead. So yeah.
She's just like,
yeah, my daughters just looked at me like, oh gosh. Yeah, when you become a dad, all of a sudden it just becomes engraved in you. You just get these dad jokes. So.
Yeah, it's just a rule. It has to be that way because, in the early days, they get it that way. Makes sense. Trial by fire for Austin. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be fun for us. I know that much. I mean, honestly, Miami did put up a good fight last year. So you never know on opening day. Things happen. I think Austin's building themselves properly, so they'll be more competitive than anybody expects anyway. But, yeah, we're kind of built to kill these guys, and we should. Right, it's an expansion side. Mm-hmm.
Josh Wolf was Greg Berhalter's assistant. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
In the past, yeah. And I think I read that Bob was like his first professional coach when he was playing. So there's there's a whole triangle. Yeah,
that's cool.
So, yeah, I mean, I remember Chicago Fire. Then with the national team, I think him and Clint Mathis kind of hooked up pretty well together on the national team, and he's always been a very competitive, heady player through his career.
Right.
He's a good choice for them. Honestly, it's going to be front foot. He's thinking on the front foot like Bob does. I can't help but feel like if you're going to make a kind of a lower grade, cheaper copy of LAFC, not insulting the guys, I'm not trying to, but Austin is very much taking from the mold, and that's okay because as a supporter, I want to go to travel places that have it the right way and they're doing it the right way. That's fine. It's perfect that way. The bigger they get, the better because they're going to come out to us and I don't know, Austin, barbecue. I don't know you guys, but that would be just a good interplay. I'm good with those road trips. I mean, which one of you are not going to go to Austin for a road trip?
No, I'm down.
I'm there.
Yeah.
I was actually hoping our first match was away at Austin. I wasn't expecting a home game, to be honest, to open up this year.
Right.
Because I was like, I have this theory in my head where I think we kind of hold the crown right now for like the newcomer of MLS gets to host, the newcomer type of thing. So, because I think Seattle was the one that held that crown for a little bit. So anytime there was a new club coming into MLS, they were the ones that would host or they would visit, right? And they obviously hosted us to open up our MLS. That was like our first MLS game. So then we beat them, and then then from there we started getting a lot of firsts. So I think well, not a lot, but we got to play Miami last year, and now we get to host Austin. So I think if we beat Austin, I think it'll keep going on and on. So I think next year we'll probably get who's coming in, St. Louis or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So I have that theory where until we lose, then we won't host any more first MLS clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
First time MLS. Yeah.
you gotta keep the battle going.
I-
Yeah,
Honestly, I still, I think even if we lose, like it'll be such a huge upset. You know, it's like the matchup is very like
Perfect.
it's a sexy matchup. You know, because LAFC.
well, I mean, yeah, Matthew McConaughey's there.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
And they're building a squad, you guys.
Mhm.
Austin
Yeah.
is looking nice. So
And-
No, yeah, right. I mean, it's built from the back. I mean, everything seems to be well structured for them. It'll be fine. It'll be a good game, guys.
Yeah, and the
I-
match is on
Definitely.
Fox, the national. It's a national broadcast game, regular Fox, not Fox Sports, not FS1. It's going to be on Fox.
Fox 11,
Yeah, so
Nice.
and even better because it's a 2:30 game, middle of the day.
ooh, yeah.
They're sounding, and we'll talk about the numbers right now. Definitely, there'll probably be fans there, maybe enough to get some drums going, little bit of vibe. So, yeah,
Awesome.
it's good things. Progress, that's for sure. And again, I like being the welcoming committee because that means that you're the standard bearer for the league, and I'd
Mhm.
rather be the standard bearer. It's a good thing. All right, so moving forward, let's talk about that. So the LAFC attendance guidelines did gain some clarity. The LA Times released an article about this, 2 articles about this, talking about numbers and trying to figure some things out. So I kind of played along with the number situation, knowing that we have 22K in our stadium. If it stays purple tier, which I hear purple tier is going to be gone by Saturday. That's what we're hearing. Purple tier was only 100 people. Could you imagine how ugly that would be? 100 people trying to get tickets to a game. It would be kind of ridiculous, right? But it sounds like purple tier is going bye-bye, and we'll probably be moving into red tier. I heard by this weekend, potentially, which at that point goes to 20% capacity. At 20%, that would be 4,400 fans at the game. 4,400. If it stays that way, which in all likelihood, that's maybe where we're going to be at, unless some crazy miracle stuff happens before the game, which doesn't. I don't know. That's a quick hit to our next game, so we'll see. 4,400. At least that's enough to make some noise, and enough to have some people in there. But yeah, I don't know how that's going to get selected. I don't want to be the guy at the club trying to figure that hot mess out, because that's going to be not so fun. But at least we're getting some people there. We'll see how that goes. And I know in terms of season ticket, you're like, oh yeah, we'll just bring in the season ticket holders. Okay, we have a lot more than that when it comes to season ticket holders. So that would even probably require a lottery, I'm thinking. We'll see what happens. We'll definitely see what happens. But there better be some drums. That's all I'm saying. Hoping and praying. The next thing after that would be orange tier. At the orange tier, you'd have to be at 33% capacity. Basically, that means that 7,260 fans could be at the game. I'm thinking if things are going the way they're saying they're going, that would probably be like a May situation. If all things worked out, that would be my bet, would be May. And then yellow tier, which could be a long time till this happens, but let's hope sooner rather than later, knowing that we got the news today about the vaccines. Yellow tier is 67%. So if you count that up with the 22K, that's 14,740 that could go to the game. Now, as far as I'm concerned, that does feel like home at that point. I mean, we always have a bigger crowd than that, but still, you could at least sculpt it, and you could have support and be fully active support, like as close as you can get at distance, right? But still, the voice makers, the loud style that we do, those that put in the work, they could definitely go in there and put in the work, and you'd get a little bit of the spirit of the 3252 at 14,700, a lot of the spirit of 3252 at the 14,740 mark. So what we
that's
do
a
know
New
is
England New England Revolution crowd right there. That's kind of
yeah, it's kind of like their
That's kinda their home
unofficial
games.
sellout level right there, and probably Carson on a Wednesday night, right? So there you go. Basically, whatever happens, spectators, of course, will have to wear masks, observe the necessary precautions, yada, yada, yada. You have to expect there's going to be all kinds of rules to make it happen. But there's light at the end of the tunnel, guys. And I think that's what we have to really look at is there's progress here. There's signs. There's a plan to get us back into our home, because that is home, right, guys?
Mhm.
And I want to throw it to Caesar. How are you feeling about this situation?
pretty good. Just because I mean, some fans is better than no fans. I think at this point. For one, you were saying at least some drums in there. I think I did the math and I was looking if they're gonna break it, if they're gonna basically even it out as far as distribution of or who gets allowed in the stadium. About 650 fans would be allowed in the North End if we go with the 20% capacity, with safe distancing and all that. But yeah, even I think more people would fit in the North End if possible. But if we want to play it fair and talk about how many fans are going to be allowed in the first game, if the 4,400 allowed, I think 600 plus in the North End would be doable. I think it'd be loud enough for to get the players going and the rest of the stadium going. And then from there, it's just a matter of, people playing it safe, doing their thing to move to the next tiers. So other than that, I think it's just a good thing. Even up here in Seattle, they just announced we're going into phase 3, like in 5 days or something like that. So we're close to phase 4, which is pretty means we're back open like 100%. So things are looking very, very good here. They just announced that, for the Mariners, they'll be able to allow, I think close to 40%. Not sure about. I need to go back and read the article because it was just released today, but something along the lines of that. So it's looking good everywhere. I think the vaccine it's people taking it or accepting it. That's helping bringing down the COVID rate or the positive COVID rate is coming down. So if people keep doing their the right things, I think the more people will get to see in the stadium by May, June, July. So just keep doing your thing, people, and we'll be into orange and then yellow tier as soon as possible, hopefully. So
I mean, if we saw the address of the nation today, if everybody plays their cards right, by May everyone's going to be eligible. A month after that, hopefully the logistics will be right. I can tell you when I got my first dose, it was put in by a soldier. So something tells me the feds are going to keep reactivating National Guard or just Army units basically through FEMA to get these out. The logistics will keep building as we go. It's going to get more efficient. It has to be. And so maybe by May to June, if you want it, you got it. And at that point, let's hope and pray that we get there. That's for sure. But it's all going to be vigilance on our part to do our part to make it happen. So, again, get it if you can. Not trying to be too soapboxy about this, but let's be real. We want to get back home. So,
yes. I got my first dose coming next Friday. So
perfect.
Nice.
Second dose for me is next week. So back in the classroom. There it is. Game on. Okay. So got to do what we got to do. Got to get back to normal, guys. So one step closer. Anybody else want to add on to the conversation about stadiums?
I mean, I already bought my flight to go to LA for that weekend just in case I'm allowed to go into the stadium. Because I said I have tickets in the North End and then I have tickets in outside of the North End. So I have 2 chances of going. So hopefully if it's a lottery, whatever it is, I hope I get chosen. So I already bought my flight. I don't have anything to worry about as far as that goes. So I think I'm excited just to be there, whether it's at the stadium, whether it's at a watch party with some friends or something,
Street, who knows? Yeah.
Something, but something. I'm there. I already, like I said, got my flight. So see you guys over there. So Christine, foot golf that Saturday morning.
Oh yeah, we're taking them down. No mercy.
Dang, I guess I have to go out there and be a card counter. There we are.
Yeah, we need you.
Watching you, Sheila. I'm watching you, man. It's on. So Victor just mentioned that he went to CVS and got the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. So he's one and done. Check that out. Good stuff, Victor. Thanks for the heads up on that. So guys, check out CVS. And it's got a big push with the pharmacies. That one's. Yeah, expect that to go flying that way. I know Cal Poly's got a location. Fairplex has one. Cal State LA has one for the big locations. we're gonna get there, guys. Rest assured, we will get there. If we do this, if we take this seriously, we get through this, we will prevail for sure. I know you can be negative and go, it's been exactly a year, and for many of us, it's going to release on Friday, and it will be that 1 year mark where everything kind of went south. But hey, that's just we're gonna make it. It's gonna happen. It's tough to hear about a year, but dude, we will prevail for sure. Moving forward, let's talk about what else is going on. Punk, what's going on in Vegas?
Yeah, Vegas has picked LAFC as the favorites to win the MLS Cup. Article I found mentioned, even though Columbus are the defending champions, the article mentioned that being that they had such a strong performance in the Champions League, in CONCACAF in the Champions League, that's kind of like their reason for putting LAFC as the favorite. Although I'm never one to be like, Vegas odds. I've never put too much into it, but I mean, it's cool that we're getting the recognition. It seems sometimes I feel like it's the curse. It seems like who's ever the favorite to win any championship, whether it's baseball. Although last year the Dodgers were the favorites and we won, but it seems like basketball, football, hockey, it seems like who's ever the odd-on favorite usually doesn't do it. Sometimes football, but it seems some sports, especially hockey. Hockey is a sport that usually whoever Vegas picks never wins it. So
that's because it's hockey, and the rules now make it pretty much like ping pong on ice. You don't know where the puck's going to bounce. Nothing's stopping. It's pretty chaotic, and whoever has a hot goalie goes. Like that. Yeah. That's where hockey's gone lately. So impossible to predict hockey.
Yeah,
soccer, though, a little more predictable, I'd say.
Yeah.
In terms of that, I feel we are the favorite. I'll be the guy to say it. I just don't like being called the favorite because people get inflated heads, and stuff happens when you're the favorite, right?
I don't think we're the favorites.
You don't think so?
Who do you think is the favorite, Caesar?
Columbus.
Like the actual. Yeah.
Columbus, they won MLS Cup with the squad that they did, right? Wow. And they go out and just get freaking better. They put almost position by position. Like starting from like their center mid and up, they just got stronger. Now you got BWP who could potentially start over Giassi Sardis. Giassi, yeah. What was that?
I'd start him over Sardis.
Yeah, but right now you got to give Giassi the respect. He's always, in the top for, top goal scorers in MLS and he's a domestic player. So you got to give him that respect. And then you got Kevin Molino, I think was he a DP for Minnesota or no, he wasn't. I'm not sure, but either way, that guy was a beast there. And to go to Columbus and just make him stronger for the, on the left side. And then you got Salarayan coming back, guy. He's
amazing.
He's amazing. Everyone saw what he could do in the finals. So to show up on that stage and just to come back, like I said, with other players who are gonna push you to be better, I think it only makes them stronger. And then they got the CCL to prepare for. So I get why we could be the favorites in that aspect, because they'll have more minutes on them than LAFC, but I still put Columbus up there over us for right now until the season plays out and we see, if their chemistry is still there and all that. But if we're talking about today, I'll give that respect to Columbus.
So the rest of that list is number 2 is the Sounders, number 3 is Columbus Crew.
What? See,
number 4 is
crazy. No.
Number 4 is NYCFC, and number 5 is Philadelphia. I mean, I don't know how they do this. I don't know how, but MGM does their calculations. I mean, but I don't think you could ever trust any of these things. But I think you make a lot of sense. And I just found out today. I don't know if you guys knew this already, but Crew actually wanted BWP before, but he came to LAFC because he wanted to win a title. He wanted to win the cup. And then, of course, he goes over there. So maybe we'll win it this year. And then, I mean, unfortunate for him, but good for us.
Yeah. You know what? I got to say, Philadelphia's got to feel a little bit jilted as well. I mean, they kind of ran away with things early. and we're
Yeah.
looking at, and then the playoffs didn't happen. I think because of an injury, that was why. But guess what? They're more healthy this season, so I watch out for Philly. I wouldn't write those guys off either. Yeah, that's pretty solid side. Seattle, though, I mean, let's be real. I think that the Morris injuries pretty much got them in a bad spot.
Absolutely.
And do you really think he's going to come back and even play this season?
Yeah, he's out for the season for Swansea. So as a Swansea supporter, I was kind of bummed. I was like, oh, man, but Swansea's getting close to getting promoted. So they keep on going 2-3. So.
Yeah, I think Seattle, I think they had their moment, and I think at this time it's our turn to unseat those fools. So there we go with that. But yeah, Columbus is definitely the target. They're the champions. They earned it. Yeah, there it is.
That is true. It is easier to be the underdog in a lot of ways. So I guess it'll be a mental challenge for LAFC as well to be the number one on so many lists. A lot of expectation.
Right. Agreed. There's a ton of expectation. It's tough. I would also say this: two things will really decide whether we're the favorites. The third DP situation. What do we do with it?
Yeah.
If you bring in a gun, right? You bring in a hired gun like Aguero. Okay. I can't see us not winning it. If something doesn't work out, we get a player that doesn't quite work out, we're in trouble. Or say Rossi gets sold in the summertime, write it off. I don't, at that point, you're rolling the dice because that's potentially two DPs coming in. You don't know who they're going to be, and then it's a little chaos. So we'll see. I mean, if we can hold on to what we've got now until the end, yeah, I feel pretty good about this team. They're comfortable together. It's going to be good. But
I like where we are.
Yeah, I'd rather be in our position than anybody else in the league right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And it's crazy to be at number 2 basically with 2 DPs, right? Like that just says a lot about, and we've been like that for like every year we've gotten in as a favorite to win the cup. So, and that's with, in mind that again 2 DPs in essence. But like you said, seeing in the summer, what I think that'll give us a good, solid, clear view of what we can expect for the boys this year. Just because, right now, it's for many of us, it's like championship or bust. But I think in the summer it'll be like, okay, what is missing to get us to that championship? So,
yeah, I think one area we need to improve on is the dead balls, right? Defending on set pieces, because you give up cheap ones like that, that's how you lose in the playoffs. Simple. Ooh.
Absolutely.
Antonio Hernandez goes, until he's sold, we can't think of another DP. You're right. B-Rod's our guy until it becomes official. I'd sell him for $1.50 just to open up the spot, but that's
yeah.
I think I saw B-Rod got an assist this past his last game. So
he did. Yeah, they won
Nice.
1-0, and he got the assist. So
Nice.
Victor Lopez just put that up to you guys' first assist in the last game. So
yeah,
thanks,
Nice.
Victor.
Get that value back up.
It was a decent pass. It was a good pass. Good weighted pass. A nice play by B-Rod. Keep doing it, sir. Good for all of us if you do. All right, let's move on from him because I hate talking about that guy. I just do. Here's the next one. Christine, defensive midfielder. Extra Time was having fun with this one, weren't they?
Yes, I have more lists. Extra Time's been doing kind of by position, their top 5, and they've been asking their different guests. So the hosts plus their guest for that episode, who was Patrice Bernier, who is most recently an assistant with Montreal, they were pretty much all in agreement that their number 1 defensive midfielder going into the season was Atuesta. Just unanimously, really. And, they talked a lot about defensive midfielders, what makes them good. And with Atuesta, a few of the things was that, when he's gone, it's a huge gap in our system. Super noticeable. And I think that we've seen that in a couple games. They called him like the metronome, which is to say that he really does keep the pace of the game. He knows how to keep the the right tone of the game, slow it down when it needs to be slowed down. But most importantly, he knows how to play the ball forward, progress the ball. And I believe there's a stat that they reference that he plays the most number of balls forward on the team, which is to say, like, he knows how to break lines and really get the attack going. Not 100% in every area. I think that he's been improving defensively as the season progressed last year. But just such a high level of skill and really high game intelligence. So yeah, Atuesta got number 1 on their list. Followed.
No, go for it.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I saw like a funny response by someone. I forgot who it was, but it was a reporter, and they're like, "What would Bob say, or what would Bob feel right now about you guys calling Atuesta a defensive center mid?" I don't know what that meant. I didn't read into it. I didn't have the time to like go and find what that meant. But I don't know. Like that's kind of interesting to think about, because what that tells me is Bob really doesn't consider him a defensive center mid. That's what I'm getting by that comment. Not sure, but the only thing I do remember is that who basically said that comment was someone close to LAFC, like a reporter close to LAFC. So
it's almost like a moot point because we only have one center mid. So if they're doing a list of defensive center mids, you know what I mean? He is our one and only center mid. So I think he just makes it as number 1 in terms of center mids in general, I would say, in my list.
I mean, let's be real. He's defensive center mid, controlling mid, central attacking mid.
Exactly.
He's all mid. Like, it just depends on where we're flowing in the game at the moment.
Yeah.
So the man of all talents, that's for sure.
So number 2 was Diego Chara, and number 3 was actually Alex Ring. So that'll be an interesting, matchup to see how we do on their opener.
Nice.
Nice battle. That'll be a good one. Yeah.
And okay, speaking of B-Rod, I know you guys don't want to bring him back again, but they did another top 5, and this was for wingers. And it was actually Steve Zakuani's top 5. He is a former player with the Sounders and Timbers as well. But he actually listed B-Rod as his number 5, which is super interesting to me because, like, he's a player and it says something when other players rate other players. He sees something in him that maybe a manager doesn't see. So despite everything, B-Rod made his top 5. Skipped to number 1 to Diego Rossi, who was his number 1 pick for obvious reasons. I'm sure everyone can attest to that. But he had made some weird comment that I wanted to get your guys' feedback about. He didn't include Vela because he didn't think of Vela as a winger, and he said he thinks of him more as a number 9. What? And that's what he would do if he was Bob Bradley, is put him as a number 9. What do you guys think about that?
Oh, Steve.
He's wrong, basically.
Some are meant to play, some are meant to coach. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, Vela did break the MLS record in goals in the position he's at, so I think that says a lot right there.
Man.
I think that also speaks for LAFC's system. Like, are you really a winger 90 minutes? No. Like, everyone switches around. You see the top line switching out. The midfield's all over the place. Things are just kind of in the moment. It's what we do. There's moments where Vela's center. There's moments where Rossi's in the middle. It's kind of silly. But naturally, how's Vela not on that list, right? Except that he's too good to be on that list?
Yeah.
That's insane. I mean, sometimes I don't take these takes from these
the players.
Like the players, or even like pro analysts or whatever they're called. I'm not saying I know everything, but at least I know like the basics, of like of what makes sense and what doesn't, and that shit does not make sense.
Honestly, I think he's saying it for banter. Right?
Yeah.
You gotta have somebody. You gotta make a talking point.
Yeah, you gotta get some attention, get the ratings up.
It's kind of like every time Lawless opens his mouth, right? It's he's trying to get a headline. All right, that's fine. It's cool. It's entertainment, but we all know who our wingers are, and maybe B-Rod stood out the way he did for us, and people were so hard on him because look at the guy he's got to play next to. It's kind of a hard hard thing to live up to. I love Roberto Espinoza. He goes, I turned off the video when they talked about V-Rodder. That's just funny. Yeah. Vic, Robert was triggered. Yeah. All good. Yeah, just hot takes. I'm from Antonio Hernandez. I think he's right on that. It is just hot takes.
Definitely,
so.
Yeah.
Whatevs. That works. We all know Rossi is top scorer. You got to have him on the list, of course. Moving on. Let's talk about how the boys are looking at it. So was it LA Daily News did an interview of basically Bob, some players talking about where their heads are at going into this thing. And there's no question the boys are in the right frame of mind. Blackman, you heard him already mention that, he's good with the competition and makes everybody better. That's the right frame of mind. To me, Atuesta's comment pretty much is the telling comment of the whole article. And he basically said, it's time to start winning titles. That's our next step. So he's putting it out there. The gauntlet is there. He's chosen it and has said it. They're playing for the titles, and that is the expectation. So if that's the club expectation, that puts it back on us, right? If we aren't pushing for that title, we're not quite LAFC, right?
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. Do you think Atuesta's right in that mindset, guys?
Definitely.
Yeah. Punk, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the leaders of the team. So, and when one of the leaders is saying it, listen to him. So he's definitely one of our, main guys.
And the fact that it's being said now, I think the years before they were a little bit timid, a little shy, scared. I don't know what it was, but of coming out and saying it. But the fact that they're just coming out and saying it now, it's like, okay, I think they get the damn point. What the fans are feeling. Not only that, but like just themselves, like knowing that you could win. You could, obviously we've already achieved the supporter shield, right? Where you go out and just like dominate the entire league in the regular season. Why not when it matters? So they know that if they could just get over that little hump when it matters, obviously it'll MLS Cup will be on our side. But the fact that they're just saying it, I think it goes a long way. And I think it's like you just said, the right mentality is there. It's been there before, but I think it's just something different to come out and say it openly and kind of accept that role now. Like, okay, like this is what we're fighting for. And yeah, just letting that out. It's like you're letting out a frustration, right? But I think it should give them some type of peace of mind that, okay, we're saying it now. Let's put it into action. So,
and Eduardo Cuesta, there really isn't a guy that makes bold statements. Mm-hmm. He's not. I haven't seen him coming out with any hot takes, and this is the first time that I really see the guy come out with a hot take to the press. Mm-hmm. So this says something. Very much a canary in the coal mine situation here. Mm-hmm. So it's good. Makes me happy. Roberto Espinoza says, oh, what did he say there? The competition is there. The drive is there. I mean, it's going to be a good season if we stay healthy. Knock on wood. If we stay healthy, yes, I agree. Yeah. Restigari goes, yeah, they know the CCO title was in reach. I think we all know that. And we also know the one name that if he was in the lineup probably would have got us that title. Yeah. And that's the guy talking in this article. So there's that. Check out the article from LA Daily News. It mentions a few other comments from our players. It also talks about where Bob's at, Thornton's at. And definitely, they're running the gauntlet. They know this is the year that they have to challenge. This is their moment. This is their window. Mm-hmm. As young as we are to say that is pretty wild, but that's what they're saying. Christine, what's going on in the youth world?
Yeah, so I got a chance to listen to Max's interview with the Real SoCal director, Alberto Bru, who's also Cuban, it turns out. So it was interesting to me because personally, I'm pretty skeptical about youth soccer clubs. So I was interested to know how this partnership was actually going to be. The name now is going to be LAFC SoCal Youth. That's the official name of the partnership. So it was enlightening to hear him talk about what that exchange is actually going to entail. They actually had tryouts recently, and there was an LAFC scout out there just checking out the boys, which is, pretty cool, knowing that this relationship is like a week or two old. So there is going to be some exchange in terms of Alberto letting Todd Saldana know, like, okay, these are the kids who, might be ready for the academy. And in fact, they already had sort of an informal relationship going on, where Alberto would let Todd know, like, okay, maybe these kids should go to your training camp, and some of them would go to the LAFC training camp and just like play with the academy. And 4 or 5 of the Real SoCal players in the past are actually in the academy now. So it's going to be a interesting kind of like another feeder almost, but with a larger net. And Real SoCal is a huge club. They just partnered. They already had 55 teams, but they just partnered with Pateadores, which is another big club. So they're up to like 70 plus teams now. Wow. They have boys and girls. So yeah, it was interesting to know how kind of like what that actually means, you know what I mean? Besides the rebranding, but if that's actually going to amount to anything, which it sounds like it is going to be a real partnership. And yeah, I guess the last thing I'll say about Alberto, just hearing him talk, was, my skepticism of youth soccer is that, like, you want it to be effective in terms of youth development. And it sounds like he does have the right philosophy in terms of, one, making sure that the players' parents have the right intentions, because the number one complaint for any youth soccer coach, if you ask any youth soccer coach in the United States, they'll be like, it's the parents. They can be really intense. They're really focused on winning, even if their kids are like 3 years old. And winning when you're young doesn't necessarily mean winning when you're older. Like, so youth development really depends on players being able to learn certain things, being able to make mistakes, and most importantly, being able to love the game, So they need to be able to practice in an environment where they love the game and they are properly being developed stage by stage, not just winning tournaments, not just winning games. Like, that is sort of like empty until you get to that point where you're at a more elite or professional level. So he did mention those things, and I think that's definitely a positive sign, because that's how I think that youth development should be in the United States.
100% the right mindset. Agreed. I know it. Too many of those teams, you'll see like 1 or 2 like crazy good kids, and everyone else kind of being the also ran, and they just lean on those kids to carry them through every tournament. And what are you learning from that? Next to nothing. So it's the experience is, get the good player and run. Make the coach look good. That's not what it's about. So it's a right mindset. I know, Caesar, you've gone up the ranks of club football. You know what's good, what's bad.
Yeah, definitely. I like where it's going definitely now. I wish all this was there when I was growing up. Definitely the kids are in a way lucky, but obviously like it's been a tough battle to get to where we're at with youth soccer. So the fact that you have a club like LAFC but like getting involved, it just tells you where youth football is now. I'm just in awe of where it's at and where it's going to be tomorrow and 5 years from now and 10 years from now. So it's only going to get better. I'm excited for my kids to play. Whenever I have kids, I'm excited for them to start playing soccer here in the US, just because it has a different connotation from when I was playing soccer, like going into middle school and then even into high school. Like, you playing soccer, everyone looked at you like different, like, oh, soccer, like, what is that? And like all you guys do is run and kick a damn ball and that's it. So it's like, no, it's more than that. It takes a lot of skill to do this sport. It takes a lot. So the fact that kids are now seeing it as a art, as a way of, like getting somewhere different, now you hear a lot of these kids, like their end goal is Europe, Me growing up, the end goal was just make it pro. Just make it pro. It doesn't matter where. But now these kids are like, nah, like I want to go to Europe. I want to go to Europe. So they know what's up. You know, like kids know what's up right now with where soccer is going and the potential it has. So I'm just excited.
Yeah, and it's not like it's just one division, right? I mean, there's so many options as a pro athlete these days. It's such an expanded thing for especially football, and it's so competitive that it's just nice to know that we have this youth movement. The fact that we get 3 kids from our academy to play on the big side already, right, is nuts. It's nuts. I think, when we went to Dortmund, a few of us that got to go, we were talking about, well, who's going to make it from all these academies? There's like a whole school here. And they're like, dude, if we get 1 or 2 of these kids, we've done something. That's how small it is. And the chances to have 3 already at such a young period in our existence, we're well ahead of the target, to be honest, guys. So, and then hearing Thornton talk about potentially 3 more. Did you guys see that article as well, or that interview? That there's 3 others on there. Guys, this ain't the norm. It's not. We're ahead of the game. So now we have this bigger pool. It's poaching it's developing rather than just simply poaching. The mindset's right, guys. This is good things for sure. I'm going to move on forward here because we do have to announce a new talent on the side. I'm going to throw this one to you, Caesar. Who the heck did we sign?
Cal Jennings. It's kind of funny how this one happened because it happened out of nowhere for one, and then like how many was it like a couple of hours or days that he was within the 11? But basically he didn't even like get to put on that jersey. So he came at a really cheap price. I think it was like $20K or so that we're paying for his rights. But yeah, he comes from the USL. I think he scored about 11 to 12 goals last season.
Yeah.
So
did you see any of the highlights from him and how he puts things away?
Yeah, definitely. I saw that. I actually saw more highlights of him at the University, Central Florida, just because like they're definitely a lot more excited than the USL club. What USL club was he at?
Sorry, I just went crazy on this one. Just lost it on him. It was Indy 11 and then Memphis 901.
Believe so. But yeah, I haven't really seen those highlights. But yeah, UCF went a little crazy that he signed with LAFC, so they started posting a lot of videos, pictures of him during the college days. So I think it's good that LAFC is recognizing USL, players that can bring a lot to the MLS side. So we've seen it with other players around the league. So I'm glad that LAFC is also taking that route.
Moose is a good example of this. Yeah. Where Reno, he's battling it out, playing scrappy, earning it, having the right mindset, and he gets us there. So Jennings, it was Memphis 901, and he had 9 goals in 14 games. One of them was a hat trick, where he got Player of the Week in USL for that one. Yeah. And what's cool when you watch him play, he can take guys. He can make the proper runs. He can also stick in for those poacher goals. Both feet, head, basically the weapons are there. It's very good signing for us. It's not going to cost us a lot. If Vegas does happen, they instantly have a goal scorer from him to develop even further, but under our leadership, he has the potential to make it in this league. He's shown it. He got drafted by Dallas. It didn't work out. We had to spend a little bit to get him from Dallas to get the rights. Honestly, the way they're set up is almost like a closed shop in Dallas with their youth teams. So it's a heartbreaking for a young player. He's still a first-round draft pick. This is another chance for him. I think it's a great move. Didn't cost us much. And for real, he does produce wherever he goes, even at the college level. He's always produced. So that this is a good tool to have for sure. Anybody else want to add on to Cal before we move forward? All good, all good. Perfect, guys. All right. So next thing we're going to mention, and I think we're just going to brush aside this one, but basically, Punk, any news on Sacramento?
Just their president, Todd Donovan, he used to play at MLS. I may remember him with the Galaxy back in the mid 2000s. I remember watching him play, but just a quick little thing. Him saying he believes in MLS and he wants the team there. But the way I look at it, I mean, since they lost their main backer, you can believe in something, but if you don't got the money, I'm sorry, but they're still a USL team, so they still, and then it's not like they lost the team completely, but yeah, I agree. We can just kind of do this really quick. And
if it happens, it happens. Doesn't it? Doesn't. He has to show confidence because he's trying to find an advisor. The league hasn't given up on Sacramento yet, guys. I think that's the big revelation from that article is they're trying to help as well. They don't want to walk away from this. It's a huge loss for MLS to lose an expansion side. So, yeah, everyone's hurting on this deal. I hope it happens for the sake of their supporters. A lot of good people up there. Let's hope it makes it. The next thing we were going to talk about was Miami getting caught kind of with their hands in the cookie jar for Matuidi. Did you guys hear about this one? Caesar, what do you know about that one?
Yeah, so whatever they did they basically somehow managed to sign him under a TAM contract, but they're paying him quite a bit of money under that TAM, and basically the league was like, crap, that should have been a DP signing. So essentially that would have been their fourth DP. And now basically they're just going, I don't really know the details behind the numbers or how they pulled it off. But yeah, essentially he's under a TAM contract where it should have been a DP contract. So it's who knows what's going to happen right there, but I think it's going to go somewhere along the lines where Carson had to get rid of one of their DPs at some point because they had essentially four. And of course they took the route where they got rid of Gio Dos Santos and then Alessandrini, whatever his name was. Kind of same thing I see that's going to happen to Miami, where they're going to have to put it as a DP contract as opposed to a TAM, and then they're either going to have to get rid of one of their DPs or truly bring down one of those contracts. So yeah, kind of some dirty work from Miami.
Yeah, it sounds a little, I mean, almost like, as Antonio says, under the table money. Something didn't add up. Yeah. So yeah, that's the question is like, okay, where's this money coming from? This guy won a World Cup and now he's with you, and it doesn't make sense financially. You see that contract, something's odd. Why would a player take a cut that hard when he's still a marketable player? So we'll see what happens. It is Beckham's team, so I don't expect too much pressure coming from the league. I mean, he's kind of their boy, so we'll see what happens there. With that being said, I think the only thing before we get into listener reactions, Q&A, and all that fun stuff from you guys is Rich is playing fun with pictures tonight again.
Right.
The hat in the box showed up again. And this one says domestic, so we know it's somebody within league, probably. That's what it sounds like. We don't know who. I see there's some rumors popping up with names here. Go have fun on Twitter, guys. I was thinking Frankie and Maya because I think SA was one of those rumors, and the kid's from Santa Ana, and he wants out from where he's at. So I'm like, well, that just makes sense. But I think I got taken out at the knees for that one, so probably not that one. Justin Renix. Well, now they're confirming Justin Renix. So,
wow.
Do you think?
I don't. It's like this guy said right here. It's just Twitter chatter, but basically, like everyone's running with this one. Like it's like multiple people right now on Twitter, like kind of confirming it in a way, but I'm not gonna confirm it on this show.
I mean, another young forward getting into the mix, right?
And that's where I'm like, where I could see why we're signing a lot of players right now, just because if the Las Vegas thing is gonna come into play for real, then we do need a lot more signings, just because we could, loan them or, send them guys. Yeah, exactly. And that's cool. But again, like someone mentioned here, like another forward, like kind of keep the battle with the Moose and Baird and whatnot, keep them, honest up top. But all in all, like the reason why we have to bring in that many forwards is because obviously that's kind of like the one of our weakest spots. If you want to, from the front three, it's obviously the weakest spot that we have. So if Moose is not working, bring in Barrett. If Barrett is not working, bring in Jennings. If Jennings is not working, bring in, the next person. So it's going to be interesting to see who we go with on the number 9 position.
So you're saying last year we platooned keepers, now we're platooning our striker.
Yeah,
we'll see. Young kid, I guess we can say revving up yet again if this is the case. Ouch.
They say get rich on the phone right now.
Yeah, I ain't getting rich on the phone right now. I know. Then I'll get 5 more clues and it's going to come out to like Kaiser Soze or something like that. And I'm going to be like, oh boy. I got him once and he's like, oh yeah, Mozambique. And then I'm like, oh yeah, Carlos Quiroz. And he goes, Jesus Christ, I was messing with you. And so I was like, okay, enough of that. It was in the coach search back in the day. He's good at this, guys. I mean, he was clever last time calling out the letters. Have fun with that. Y'all aren't going to sleep tonight. I know better. I'm having fun with it though, Rich. We'll see what happens. I'll come up with some curveball if it's not official. But if it is Renix, so be it. Again, that builds up if we're having a second side. If we're not having a second side, it's a little bit of a stretch at striker, right? A lot of bodies and maybe somebody's getting cut. We'll see. I know. Usual Suspects. Showing my age. You got Green Day albums and Usual Suspects. You know how old we are. There you go.
Yeah.
Which now brings it to the next thing. Rumors aside, Q&A. All right, comments of the day. What do you think, Caesar? What do you want to tackle on this one since we saw a few things pop out as we went going here? So this is our final thing. About 1:15 we'll be calling it tonight, so throw it in there. Foot Golf Avenger. Yes, Christine is the Foot Golf Avenger, and we will all avenge that defeat.
Oh, yeah, I don't forget. It's up here.
It's there, dude. Trust me, she's gonna own Chila the next time they go out. There better be a wager, and Chila, yes, we are counting. There it is. All right. What else we got out there before we call this one tonight? Anybody? We had some other ones. There were some other rumors. Let's see. As we're running past our comments here, no need for the dead air, right, guys? B-Rod coming back? I don't think so. Yeah, underdogs is always fun. Oh, Brendan Matthews, our boy from Australia, our guest last episode. He's looking for more SG scarves, guys. So talk to the man. I know he needs an Empire Boys one, so there it is.
Speaking of Empire Boys scarves, there's some podcast that did like a scarf tournament. We went on to the next round. We beat some Houston supporter group. So in the next round, we're actually playing Relentless, an LAFC supporter group. So that's who we're going up against next. So I know someone put it up on our Slack page, and like we just like Empire Boys. We just like, I think we won like 83 votes, like 30 something. So we like,
wow.
I mean, not to be biased, but that Keeper of the Faith scarf is pretty cool. Let me see if I could.
Yeah, I got one hiding back there. That's for sure. Empire Boys above my. Let's go. There we go. All right. There it is. Keepers of the Faith. It's a good one. Honestly, I think the crew probably won as well, right? Against Columbus. Did they win? I didn't hear. But I know they were in the race too.
I forgot who won that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Anything LAFC is going to be stronger than everybody else. Our culture is what it is. It's strong. Anyone know about the stadium sponsor's name? This is from Antonio Hernandez. I will say big fat no. Nothing. I just know we're going to keep the name up there until we find one, because why do you want to have like a rusty imprint of a former sponsor up there? No, thank you. That would look really ugly. So just, I guess I'm mad at Bank of California because my credit card that I had that had our logo on there is now gone. They took that and sent me a new one, and that one no longer works. And all the discounts at the stadium going away. So cancel your card. Moving on. Whoever gets my business, you better be friendly with LAFC. That's all I know.
And before I forget, Brendan, DM me and I'll send you some contact information for who does our Empire Boys scarf. So yeah, just DM me and I'll send you that information. So I'll see what we can do for you.
I'm a little shocked we're not hearing more chatter about the jerseys, because somebody mentioned in our comments before the show about the jerseys and want to know when it's coming out, or is that the one?
Mm-hmm.
Or who
I
the
will
sponsor is, right?
Yeah, and who the sponsor is. What we know from Pat is that there is one, right? It's happening. We just don't know who it is and how funny it might look or how good it might look. Yeah, jersey release and sponsor. That is the $1 million question. I will say that. If you know more than I do, cool. Ooh, that's the other comments. We'll say that. Antonio Hernandez is asking about a Heart of LAFC scarf. Well, I mean, if there's demand for it, supply must be provided, right? So if you guys are looking for that, you never know.
Let us know.
It's down the line, that's for sure. There'll definitely be some merch as we get closer to, actually getting to go to the stadium in mass, because we prefer to do business in front of everybody and meet the people that support the show and have good conversations. So yeah,
I'm down for that. And speaking of jerseys, I don't know if you guys saw the new Kansas City jersey. It's pretty sharp. It's a pretty nice looking jersey. They came out with a new one this week, and it looks good. It's white and striped, and it looks like a sharp jersey.
Yeah, since they became SKC, they've always had good kits.
Yeah, it's just they got rid of the Wiz. Remember when they were the Wiz in the first?
All the rainbow colors and
yeah.
That rainbow jersey was kind of cool though. Like that one was good, but Wiz on your shirt, kind of a loss there for sure. And it gives us flashbacks to Lawless actually playing, and nobody wants to see that. So it's fine. Who's winning tonight? I don't know. Brendan's talking about like lower division Australian soccer. If it's not the
Brendan's
Sharks,
talking about like 5th division, I don't know, cricket or something. I have no idea.
I'm gonna go with the Rangers.
I'm gonna go with Monbok because they have a weird name. Oh yeah. Oh, that is the Rangers. Okay.
Yeah.
The Montauk Monster. What is that? Okay. Mongol Grand. So there it is. Even though I don't root for anything called Rangers, just me. But there you go. You all know why. There it is. Oh yeah, Antonio's talking about Ford, Porsche, Toyota as car sponsors. I mean, we could always throw more in. I don't mind it, but Porsche would look kind of cool on a kit. I wouldn't mind that one. That one would look pretty cool. Ooh, OG. Pins. Talking pins. Yeah, that's right. You saw some appear and disappear. Definitely will have pins this year, guys. That's for certain. So we'll get that supply moving for all you guys. It's happening. Stay Golden shirts, maybe, but I think we'll get something upgraded from that. We'll talk about that a little bit later. That being said, any last comments before we call this? Because we're hitting that moment. Good. All right, guess what, guys? It is time for final thoughts. So I'm going to throw this one to Caesar.
Sounds good. Yeah, I don't really have much to say this time around. Just staying close to whatever the club has going on right now and trying to see when that jersey comes out so I can get it ordered. Kind of like everyone is on their toes about that. Other than that, kind of like Joseph, and I get my vaccines this week coming up, or the first one, and then honestly, I think I signed up for the Johnson & Johnson, so I got to verify with my girlfriend because we're getting it through her company. She works at she works for healthcare, so anyone in the household is also allowed to go. So I'm lucky in that sense. And so next week I'll be able to see how that goes. Other than that, everyone stay safe, keep wearing a mask. As you guys can see, I think we could get into those tiers, the different tiers pretty soon, and I hope that we can have the 22,000 fans that need to be there as soon as possible. So
better days ahead, that's for sure. Next up, I'm gonna go with Christine.
Wow. Okay. I thought for sure you're gonna call me last, like you always do. I'm really excited for the start of the season. Super duper excited. I keep trying to get insider information from people, and it's not working yet. But I'm gonna try to get as much information as possible for you guys. And yeah, I also we're collectively as a group trying to be more active on social media and just getting our live streaming out there. So if you guys could follow us on Heart of LAFC on Instagram, and let your friends know, that'd be cool. So we can just, build this community. I know it's kind of late, but it's really awesome that you guys have joined us. And let me just reiterate that I love seeing your comments. I love that we're live. It really feels like we're all in a room together talking about the club and football. So yeah, please do let your friends know if you think that they would be interested.
Thank you, Christine. Mr. LAFC Punk, it is your turn, sir.
Yeah, I kind of piggyback on what Christine said. We really enjoy interacting with you, the listeners. I really can't wait to get to the bank just to be able to meet some of you guys and hang out at the tailgate and hang out at the concession area, hang out at halftime or just before the game, after the game. So I look forward to seeing you guys once we all can get back together. Like I said earlier, I'm getting my first vaccine next Friday through the school district. So fortunate. I work 2 jobs, so I got back-to-back eligible shots. So I decided to go with the school district one because it's the Pfizer. So I'm like, all right, I'll get that one. So, but again, we look forward to hanging out with you guys and just being able to. It's coming close. I think we finally see a light. So it wasn't like a year ago. I still have nightmares of a year ago, the first day of the pandemic at work. And also Caesar said to wear the mask. Everybody, please we had an incident tonight at work. The police had to come out. It's been happening more and more at the grocery stores. Just be nice to us grocery workers. If we're sick and tired of being treated like crap and because you don't want to wear a mask. So just, you're in there for 10, 15 minutes. We're in there for 8 hours wearing it. So wear your freaking mask, man.
Well said. Respect everyone out there that's putting in the work that has to be exposed to all this, that's still battling through, guys. They're the ones that are keeping us fed. Let's be honest. You go shopping, but they're the ones keeping us out, moving, doing what we got to do. So respect the essential workers. It's that simple. Do that. It's important. They're your friends. They're your families. Take the uniform off. Show some humanity. That simple. And that being said, yes, the light is definitely at the end of the tunnel. Get your vaccine if you can. You will all get them soon, and we'll be back at the bank together again, enjoying our lovely tailgates and doing what we do best, supporting our club. On that note, thank you, everybody, for, of course, coming back onto the show. Next week, we'll be back on Thursday, 10:30 p.m. again. It'll be episode 175, so I'm sure there'll be some surprises involved with that. And on that note, again, do your best, get your shots, stay safe, everybody, and, of course, stay golden.
Thank you for listening to the Heart of LAFC. Make sure to leave us a rating and review on iTunes or Stitcher. Shoulder to shoulder, the black and gold is taking over.